going to be really excited to see how they're going to come into play, because the sword can make plays when it comes to the close range, but that repulsor can be a hard counter. So I love the fact that we saw them both on the fly through, but first we have to get through the camouflage, and Lucid is already working on it.
We'll hop on board with Lucid to start the day, though he will not stay up for two. Actually, is that Lucid? No, that is not Lucid on the board. That's Triton on the board, Tony, who's down. It's the entirety of Complexity who seem to have dropped off that opening strat. Optic Gaming instead, they'll be walking away with advantage in numbers, and it looks like the first points on the board as well.
Formal able to take down Triton, and Complexity do end up going 3 down. You see APG trying to get his shield back and dodging nades left and right, able to rotate out towards the Whirlpool side, and then coming right off of spawn does Formal here on the top attic. So I'm liking the spawn, I'm liking the position coming in at Optic Gaming, and they're finally able to put that double cap on the board. But here comes Complexity working on Alpha.
But they're all dead, so not too much they can do about it. Unfortunately, Monster last one up bottom mid, so he'll be deleted. And you see how quickly Optic Gaming were able to get from attic out to A with the perimeter. And using that high ground, using the angles, they can just cross them up. Lucid, by the way, pretty sure the man has a shock rifle. I saw somebody grapple, it might be Formal. But that definitely a playmaking device on the map.
Lucid finding 3 players of Complexity over towards the bottom elevator, going down to one shot, somehow still able to find one before going down. Here comes TriPPPeY on the kill feed with the sword, and Vetra trying to clear out Alpha, but there's just too many Optic members sitting towards top A.
At least Vetra does have this vantage point, though. If he can stay up, he can draw their attention. Use the high ground to get a bit of a cross going here. You can see he's getting tagged up from behind, though. Not ideal. He'll drop into B. Get cleaned up by TriPPPeY. Hysteria hopefully there to pick up the pieces, but TriPPPeY with his sword in the feed, he's still going. And this just opens up opportunity. He hits the shot! What? Formal's already connecting, and it's early in the morning here, Tony.
3 down go Complexity, and Formal looking to take the 4th one, still having the shock rifle in hand. Double cap in favor of Optic Gaming. Luckily, Complexity come right off the spawn, able to steal away A, but it takes 2 to tango. You need a double cap in order to put points on the board.
Having good reactions is a combination of what? It's prediction, right? You know he's coming, so you can react more quickly, because honestly, Formal's reactions in this tournament so far have been insane, Tony. And I think a big part of the reason why is because he predicts the situation so damn well and feeds off the teammates' info.
TriPPPeY's camouflage just running out. He has eyes on the player over towards Bravo, but notice how he focuses. He says, you know what, we need 2 caps. That 1 kill isn't enough of importance for him to laser focus on it and for him to lose sight of the ultimate goal. So he backs down, takes away A, ends up getting the assist onto the first one. Lucid now going to try to collapse onto 2, runs right into the shock rifle of Vetra. A second one, ends up getting the double kill, does Vetra, and now we're going to see Complexity start to work off of Alpha. They have the numbers, now they have momentum. But they don't have the sword.
Just about to say Complexity need to get something started, and to do it, they need to make big plays. But TriPPPeY, he'll make a big play of his own, shut him down, take back A and B. So there's the coverage on the map they're looking for once again. You can see the perimeter APG holding off the long haul here, and that high ground, I mean, there you go. It worked in Star Wars, right? It'll work in Halo as well. Don't challenge him.
Well, finally the nades are going to deal with him, but not without going 3 down does Complexity, and because of that, we do see a momentary trip cap going in favor of Formal and Optic. Now Formal on screen, going to try to go for the flank over towards the gold side of the map. He has Lucid holding down things with the shock rifle and still holding on to the BC hold is Optic, but it looks like they're trying to work for that trip cap. Once they hit the slays, they might rotate over towards Alpha.
We'll see it. Just baiting and switching their way through Whirlpool all while it happens, though. Looks like APG does take the kill. Formal still up. He'll let Lucid go ahead, get to the A capture. Does not want to miss the shock sitting back in pipes, because he can make big plays with it. Already tagging up 2. All that damage he's done is just opportunity for Lucid to get in and be aggressive.
And notice the rotation that Optic made going all the way toward the gold side. I said it, we start to see the slays, they were going to go after Alpha. They do just that. Lucid ends up setting off a remote detonation, and now we're just seeing things start to snowball. Everything working for Optic, even the shock rifle.
You got to pay close attention to the awareness, the reticle placement out of these players. They know exactly where to expect their opponent. So ready for the shot the moment they're around the corner. Formal will do it again. Don't challenge him right at this point. 232 to 4 on the board, Tony. They can't get anything going. Formal about to add insult to injury at this rate.
on board around MoNsTcR, tries to stay alive on one shot, but he just hunts it down. Back-to-back kills going in favor of Lucid and TriPPPeY. Trying now, he's going to try to challenge over towards the seaside, try to get something happen, but it's just too late. A 250-4 win going for Optic.
Optic Gaming going to come out very dominant in that first game, Tony. Not unexpected, but what was it? You said 250-4?
It looked like 4.
4 points, so no real hope in that situation. And shout out to our producers in the back who did the Star Wars wipe. I don't know if you noticed it, Tony, to bring us back into to POV. We're making Star Wars jokes early in the morning, right? I mean, Obi-Wan, he said it best. He had the high ground, Anakin, and the high ground allows you to make plays. You can't just challenge him from down low. That's all we saw at a complexity that entire game. They're down low, they're bottom mid, they're in C Stronghold and long hole, and they're just looking up at BR gunfire, at shock rifles. I mean, what do you do?
You kind of reminded me like back in grade school where you're like
Young
up
Padawan.
high, down low, too slow. Like they were down low and just too slow. Sadly, Optic Gaming just absolutely running things on recharge. And I didn't really see anything out of complexity to make me believe that they can bounce back in this series. Like Optic Gaming literally controlled about 99.9% of that game.
You know, and these are very talented players on complexity. It's not like this team is a slouch by any means, right? This is a well-practiced team. Individually, these players, I think you put them in 1v1s and they know their game. They'll hold their own. But when it comes to the team dynamic, and I mean, that's the beauty of competitive Halo and something that we've gotten back with Infinite and the kind of limited mobility that you have in this game in comparison to, you know, what we've had. You got to be so careful with how you play your life. You got to play off your teammates. You got to cross with your team. And I mean, Optic, they do it better than anyone at the moment. And the result is just, no matter how individually skilled you are, you just don't get opportunities to do anything, Tony.
And the one thing I love about Optic Gaming is that they're taking every game, every series, so they're taking it seriously. Like sometimes some of these upper echelon of teams, they'll see a lower end team, at least compared to themselves, and they may not take it as serious. They may not go 100%. And sometimes you'll see teams take them game 5. Maybe teams pull off the upset. Not Optic Gaming. They're treating every game as if it's a grand finals.
It's all business. That game, by the way, Tony, I think it was 5 minutes, 35 seconds. Sorry, 39. You can see on the top of the screen. Unreal. And within that small window of time, Formal managing to get over 3,000 damage. I think the least damage taken in the lobby. So just being elusive all while he does it. And he'll take that damage right into Slayer, Tony.
Well, going into Slayer onto live fire, you said you want to see a bunch of S7s, and we're going to see at least one here. And it's going to be towards that mid-map, but not just the S7 sniper. You also have the drop wall. You also have the repulsor. You got a Mangler, might not see that as much.
The heat wave, Tony.
But the heat wave should be that close quarters combat weapon.
Right, plenty of sandbox to work with, as always, with Halo Infinite's maps. It's just how you're controlling it when you're using it. The heat wave, I think, one of the biggest weapons on the map to control, though, of course, along with this snipe. The snipe's got plenty of ammo, but it will be spawning less frequently on the map. The heat wave, it's always in play for the most part, right? Somebody's going to have it. When they don't have it, when it's off the map, it's back on respawn. So we'll see what they do to control these resources. We need to see some life out of complexity. And, Tony, this is the biggest opportunity they've had yet to show us something.
If there's any team that can bounce back after getting dominated, it might just be complexity. These are the ultimate comeback kids. They understand that they're playing out there. They're just getting warmed up. It's like I said, the first game of the day, it's kind of cold in here. They got the hand warmers. Now we're coming in. Now this is going to be competitive. And dare I say it, I think complexity can take a win.
We'll find out. They got to kill TriPPPeY first. We'll kick off the game with him. Notice he picks up the combo as he makes his way to pillars here. He'll make good use of it, too. Going to keep it back in the A door. Almost tags one, but he'll jump into the line of sight of 2 players, and that's complexity coming away with some early kills to kick things off, Tony.
MoNsTcR bringing the heat, able to take down Formal, but gonna lose that heat wave courtesy of Lucid. Vetra tries to stay alive over towards the cusp, but he's hunted down immediately, and that's been Triton by himself, but he has an overshield. Great plays coming in out of Triton and complexity to get these power-ups, and now they're coming right off the spawn and getting aggressive with it.
I think the biggest thing is gaining that heat wave control early on and using it to win fights in cuts. And by securing cuts, you've got access to that OS. Triton now living up on top mid due to it. You can see APG's picked up a kill in the feed here, so they're starting to lose numbers. Need to get aggressive on this one player on C-Box behind. I believe Vetra, though, a couple more competitors on Optic will chase him down, give us a 2-kill advantage, Optic Gaming here.
On board now with Triton spawning up over toward the B side of the map. Excellent cross map shots, but it's not going to be enough to take down that player. Luckily, he does have some teammates that are now trying to go in for a bottom mid flank. That's going to be Monster. Heat wave in hands. He is spotted. Goes all the way down to one shot, but TriPPPeY does go down. Excellent teamwork coming out of Complexity.
Good work out of Complexity, too, taking advantage of TriPPPeY getting aggressive on the dummy door there. Formal, though. Oh, for a second, he was looking for 2. Would have been nice if he pulled it off, but they'll shut him down for now. 12, make it 13 as a double from TriPPPeY. Right off his spawn, he's getting aggressive. He'll take the trade on that, but it gives him a 3-kill advantage.
Shots coming in from Formal, goes down to one shot. Again, more teamwork out of Complexity. You gotta love what you're seeing, but a Hail Mary out of nowhere. Lucid not able to break through the A side. APG recognized that he lost his teammate that he was running with, so he immediately backs down and catches a different angle here from Sandbag. That's gonna be an assist, and that overshoot is up. Can he get a hold of it?
Oh, so tantalizing, right? Just sitting there out in the open. We'll see who ended up grabbing it in the end. In the meantime, Monster is going to get aggressive back B. Does clean up one. That's massive. Double back to the team. In the meantime, Complexity coming away with their second OS of the game. They got to watch out for that green gun, though. You can see they got a back tower. Hopefully the communication comes in, but the entire team making their way through C, moving in unison here, and they'll clean up numbers because of it.
Complexity looking so different in this game number 2 than we saw them in 1. They're actually showing some life here. They're actually up in slays right now. They actually have numbers on the field here, and they're going for that map control. There's a player over towards the scoreboard side. Triton immediately spots him, and is not only hunting him down, but feeding that information to his teammates so they ultimately can collapse on him.
This is where we need to see the energy, the life out of Complexity, confidence from these boys. Watch them. Oh, okay. You got to love that Triton keeps shooting in that situation. If he doesn't hit those shots, that snipe likely connects, but that snipe now sits up on Outlook. We'll see who gets to it. Looks like TriPPPeY is the one to do it. Of course, he converts it. Second over on C as well, and he's still got some ammo.
TriPPPeY now going to rotate that sniper all the way towards the next side of the map. Love that collapse coming in this time, not from Complexity, but from Optic Gaming. And now TriPPPeY staring down the garage side spawners here. But it looks like Complexity going towards bottom mid, trying to take an angle over towards the power side. That made almost able to take down Formal, but he's going to keep his life. And now TriPPPeY has his back.
Formal just ducking and diving. He'll stay up. Optic Gaming now with high ground over the scoreboard here. They're going to move together as they make their way through cuts. Lucid with 2. TriPPPeY just bobbing and weaving here. He'll take Triton. The issue with Triton's positioning, I mean, oh, he's got a double out of this on a Monster as well. But just being stuck out in the open in those situations, right? The pillars and cuts so powerful, and your opponents have nothing to work with.
The one thing I always notice when watching Optic scrims, I'm even noticing it right now, is their communication is not just calling out random locations on the map. They're small talking all the time. They're calling out when they're within arm's length of their teammate, when they're ready to push, when they're ready to collapse. It's not just calling out locations, it's really calling out what your mindset is, and it's so important. It's one of the things that make Optic's communication so good.
Right, they're calling the plays as they happen, especially as they spawn, right? The moment they spawn up, they tend to even predict where they will spawn based off of where their teammates are the moment they die, right? And use that info coming into the next play. So quick to get info. What a brawl here, back B. Looks like Triton gonna come away with that one, and a snipe he's earned for it. Not too much ammo, but he can still make a play.
I can tell TriPPPeY wanted that no-scope on that one, but it looks like Triton has his hands on the sniper rifle. Maybe he can pull off a no-scope or 2. It's a 38-32 lead in favor of Optic Gaming right now, but Complexity can make a run. Going to be very hard to do, and Monster is the first one to go down, putting his team at an immediate disadvantage.
In the meantime, Vetra just trying to do anything he can to stay up top tower. You can see the nades pelt them too. That vantage point, helpful, but also, also very available, I guess, to the enemy. You can see APG did kill him on the feed. Monster just coming in to pick up the pieces. He did not expect one above. That's Formal. He's ready for it. 42 now at this point to 33, Tony. Quite a mountain to climb. And the only way to do it is to win the snipe here.
Yeah, I didn't even know the sniper rifle was gonna be enough as they start to split the difference here. 2 go down for each of the teams. APG now baiting the sniper rifle here on the sandbag side. He is aware there's a player coming out of the A house, immediately challenges him, puts down a little bit of damage, and now allows his teammate to come in once again for the bait and switch. Watch out, Complexity do have overshoot.
Try using every nade he's got. Oh, doesn't quite come out with the kill there. The second time we've seen that, though, out of Optic Gaming, they force all the spawners to kind of pull themselves outside here near the OS. Of course, the OS spawned, so that gave them something. They got no high ground to work with. In the meantime, there's a perimeter from A all the way to Tower out of Optic Gaming, just locking them down. They still got the snipe to work with as well. I believe that snipe is over on C-side somewhere. Only 2 kills left to close it, though, so we might not even get to see it at this rate. Trippy with 49. Nate comes into back B and a double to close the game. We saw some life out of Complexity, but still, they have yet to really kind of bust down the doors here.
Yeah, but at least, like you said, at least we did see some life out of it. At least they put up a fight in that game number 2, and now I'm a believer that maybe they can stop the sweep from coming in. I think they played that Slayer really well, and although obviously Optic are the favorites coming in, I think Complexity at least is showing that they're here. They're making their presence known.
Right. The thing is, when it comes to these competitive Halo games, Slayer is always the most volatile, right? Slayer is the hardest to control for a team because, I mean, the moment you die, multiple players die, it's very easy for the enemy to predict where you will spawn and to keep a bit of a snowball, keep some momentum going. So Slayer tends to swing, and it tends to be the biggest opportunity for underdog teams to show that they can hang to win a game. But even in the Slayer, there was never really a moment where I felt like Complexity had the advantage, had the lead, and it was Optic keeping up. It was Optic setting the pace and Complexity just kind of reacting, even in the Slayer, Tony. So it almost makes me think, will things go even more poorly in Objective? Because Objective ain't any easier. Let's take a look at the stats in the meantime, though, Tony, because there are some interesting points to note.
You can't let me have anything, right? I'm trying to make something going for Complexity. I was happy for a second.
Look, man,
and
I'm all for an underdog story. I'm a realist.
I'm looking at the stats.
Tony goes by the heart. I just go with the realistic opinion based off of what I'm seeing, and what can I say?
Lucky 13s across the board for Vetra. Even a single assist. I like the 10 assists coming out of Monster and 8 kills. He participated in at least 18 kills that happened on the map. Now, obviously, it wasn't enough, but again, I'm just trying to see the light in the tunnel. I want to see some life coming from Complexity, and I want to believe that they can take one on Optic Game.
Moments of brilliance for sure. The damage, by the way, APG leading the damage score at the bottom of that. I don't know if he had the most slays in the lobby, but I think he had the most assists. I think it was 13 assists to close that out. So APG just being a nuisance in so many different situations, and that is equating to damage on the board. Of course, he had the damage taken stat as well. Of course, if you're dying a lot, then that's not a good thing. But if you keep your deaths low and you take a lot of damage, what a massive contribution that is for the team. So we'll see. Bazaar CTF is what's next, Tony.
But that's one of the things that make Optic so hard to deal with. You have a player like APG that's going to be that forward player, put down as much damage as possible, but then he just slicks right out. He allows Lucid or even Formal to come in and then clean up those kills.
You take the spotlight. Go ahead.
Exactly. I honestly, I love gameplay like that because, again, I say it all the time. I value an assist just as much as a kill. As long as that player goes down, I'm all about it. And hopefully multiple will go down here on Bazaar, and it has a lot of tools in order to do so. You have the rockets, you obviously have the overshield that spawns on the map, but one thing I love is that grapple. The utility on it, you can get so much value from it when it comes to stealing flags, stealing objective, or just Peter Parking across the map.
Always nice to Peter Parker your way across maps, Tony, for sure. I know you were hoping that there'd be some kills. Don't worry. You don't have to hope. There will be a bloodbath in the center of this map. The only question mark I have is, can Complexity counter them in some way? We'll have to see. This is their final opportunity to do it in the series. In Bazaar CTF, it is a punishing map when one team has control.
I love the moment you said it's going to be a bloodbath on the map and you see a wet floor sign. Be careful. Don't slip.
Oh, man. It's rated T for team, Tony. They don't do that. They don't have that in this game. Was that just like what was that play to start, by the way? Somebody sliding into the corner of Market? I think he might have dived for it. It was Triton. Very aggressive play to Optic to kick this off.
Yeah, if you're going to start off a game against a top team, you got to make sure that your strats are on point. You got to make sure that you're taking direct angles towards the power-up, or at least baiting them, and sadly that's not the play that you wanted to see. Optic Gaming immediately go up in numbers, and you're seeing them start to create some offense, not only here on the bar side, but you're even seeing a player might be trailing towards that palm tree side as well.
And then the result of all this aggression and slays is just access to the shotgun, access to the flag immediately. Have we seen many kills on the opposite team? We've got three geese, I guess, to start it. Monster did return a kill, but with all the availability on the map to make plays, Optic Gaming just sailing through with this flag to start it out. Tony, what's the record? What's the record for the fastest flag in Bazaar CTF in competitive Halo? Because I think we might be achieving it.
Yeah, it's really tough. We already have a 1-0 lead going in favor of Optic Gaming. You point out the goose right now. We're not playing duck, duck, goose, playing goose, goose, duck, duck.
Pretty much. Oh, man. They gonna start quacking at this rate, Tony. I don't know. We don't have much time. I mean, we have plenty of time, I guess, but if they continue to play at the pace that they're playing at, we won't. We'll see. Hysteria, Triton do pick up 2 kills of their own, so some life out of the boys on Complexity, and let's see that continue if they can deal with Horrible. Look at the move in the bar, right? The combo of the thrust and the mechanics here to just be such a nuisance.
I will say, I do like the fact that Complexity were trying to create some offense. They were trying to get into the enemy team's base, and obviously Optic doing a great job of creating that green wall, if you will, that defense to clear them out. But at least Complexity are starting to grind for it. They're starting to get that mid-map control and start to try to apply pressure to Optic Gaming, and they just went 3 down.
Right, we need to see unanswered kills just like this, like you said, and then quick movement off of it. Quick access to the flag when they got the opportunity to do it, but with Bazaar CTF, there's layers to it, right? You can't just get around the slays and get away with the flag. You have to take your time. You need to win multiple fights on the way back. You can see Triton is doing exactly that combo of grapple and the OS. He'll clean them up in Treehouse. This gives Vetra the flag. They can send it through center map. And Optic Gaming, they are playing defense now.
A fresh 2 down for Complexity. It looks like that flag will make it towards the mid-map, but Complexity are not happy yet. They're going to throw that flag in. They're going to make sure to get another round of slays here before they're able to secure it. And Optic are already overextended and going in for the counter pull, but a beautiful nade coming out of Hysteria.
Exactly. What do Optic do to counter that situation? They say, don't worry, we're not going to headbutt you with the flag. We're just going to beat you back to the other side and kill you before you make it. With the flag your own, we'll see. Formal's been just juggling out through the doorway at Treehouse here. That flag, bottom of map, gonna make its way through double doors. So a bit of a standoff here. And Lucid with a massive double to secure his side. Whoever wins the kills here, Tony, they walk away with the flag. It looks like somehow APG is the one to return it.
A massive double kill is right, Alex. Complexity went all 4 down, a full squad wipe, and it was started by that 2 down. And now TriPPPeY is grinding that flag forward. It's about to be punched in. This is a 2-0 lead going to the boys in blue, or formerly green.
and that's kind of the heartbreaking situation that comes with the skill gap, I think, in this game, Tony, is that, you know, even in the moments where it seems like Complexity have an opening, they're never safe. Optic are ready with a counter. They'll cap a second flag. And look where Formal is. It's like he spawned back here. Just hanging out in their base. We'll pick up a flag once again.
Another 3 down for Complexity. They're not going to have to somehow come off the spawn and overextend. They need to stop this flag. There's no way they can go down 0-3 here on Bazaar. And Formal hasn't been touched yet. He makes it all the way towards the double doors. And this is going to be a clean cap. Complexity are in trouble.
That was a very clean cap. I don't think I saw a single VR shot whip by him as he made his way through bottom mid. And of course, this is great signs if you're an Optic fan. But for Complexity to get any momentum in the remainder of this pool, because like we said, Tony, Complexity, they have a gauntlet to face. They need to do some damage here, give themselves some confidence going into the remainder of their matches here. Monster, maybe he can do it. You can see he keeps doubling back to just make sure that player will die. He'll take the flag out through Treehouse. So once again, we got the flag bottom mid. They got to worry about the overextension, got to worry about top rocks.
Formal able to get the first pick onto Vetra, and then another 2 down go Complexity. Optic once again having that mid-map control and having numbers on their side. So what does that mean? That means Lucid is already coming in with a pull. Luckily for Complexity, they still have 2 members on the Optic Gaming side. They're in position to possibly slow down this flag, and Lucid does end up going down.
Well done out of Vetra, though. That's a big double right there. That's Lucid, Formal down for the count. Thanks to Vetra. Flag out bottom mid in the meantime, though. You can see they are still getting the touch to try to run it. Can Vetra lock this down? He will. The return as well, so the biggest save we've seen all game out of Complexity, thanks to Vetra there.
I mean, yeah, but look at the resource that they had to dedicate in order just to get it done. I mean, they went 3 down. There's no chance they're going to get a counter pull out of the situation. And Optic are still in their base. They're not home free just yet.
Oh, they're definitely not. I mean, 3-0, 6 minutes on the board. That's some time to work with, but the pressure relentless out of Optic. You can see Lucid just jingle peeking his way into Treehouse. He goes for it, and I respect the aggressive play. We'll see if Formal can pick up off of it.
Formal keeping that high ground, putting down shots and trusting his teammate to come in with the bait and switch. TriPPPeY not only getting the kill, but also to get his hands on the overshield. That dynamo grenade might have did a little bit of damage to Formal, but he's still alive. Has the rockets, drops down, despite being one shot, taking damage from the enemy team and his teammates. He's still able to get the kill. TriPPPeY's now going to run this flag in, and they're going to be one cap away from pulling off the 3-0 sweep.
Tony, they're just so on top of everything, so aware, so prepared for every exchange. Look at the scoreboard, 15 and 6 out of Formal, make it 16. As he's still going ham, they'll finally take him down bottom mid. But at this point, is there even an opportunity to come back, or are they just padding the stats here, Tony?
Bulldog coming in from APG, 2 down go Optic, so maybe Complexity have a chance to capitalize on this, but the issue is, I mean, they're down 0-4. I mean, there's 5 minutes on the clock, so almost a cap per minute just to tie things up. Not even to win the game, just to tie things up against the green wall. This, I don't know if it's possible. Alex, I don't know if it's possible.
I don't think so. Lucid's going for some big solo challenges, though. You can tell that they're feeling themselves. They're seeing what they can get away with, I think, at the moment, at this level, especially with all the leeway they got to work with. And I think that confidence will carry him later in the tournament. Tony, I can't wait to see how far Optic will punch today, especially with Cloud9, FaZe, and Sentinel starting to really get in the mix here.
The one thing I am happy for Complexity is that, you know, they're coming into pool play and they're playing Optic in their first series. This has to be the best warm-up possible.
Wow.
If you can stay alive in some of these games and play that Slayer so well and still be in, like going for the rest of the tournament, like, hey, this is gonna be easy from here. We're going against one of the teams that might just win this tournament. They're definitely in, definitely contesting for that championship. So it's good to get it out of the way early.
Well, maybe. Also, you know, hopefully it's not deflating for them though, right? Like a loss of this caliber definitely can't feel good. Like you look at the slays on the board, it's just so overwhelming. Lucid still doing work here, just gonna let him know it's his bar. He'll drop out, get the kill as well. There goes Hysteria. Still immediately puts damage into a second, right? Like, even though he's slightly down shields, he's not worried about it. He's got TriPPPeY there on the other side to make sure he secures the kill and a 360 medal while he does it.
Still a 4-0 lead in favor of Optic Gaming at the moment. 3 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock here. TriPPPeY was trying to get that slay so he could secure a pull on the fly, but Complexity making it as hard as possible. And we do see a double kill coming out of APG. And once again, Complexity now starting to gain some numbers, now starting to gain some momentum, map control in favor of the boys in red.
You gotta love the target priority. Like, Formal doesn't walk away with that kill there, but just the way he's switching targets when they become available. Like, he snapped onto the first player he was shooting in the back of that exchange as he peeked his way out. And these are just little subtle things that he does to be so efficient on the map with his damage. And I think other players might miss those little moments, but Formal definitely doesn't. And here he is once again with a double. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. They could go for the flag, or they could keep getting slays. It's up to them at this point.
Formal trying to play for the Rockets, ends up going down to one shot. Well-placed grenade out of Triton, was able to take down one. Cross-match shots being answered back here for Formal. Whips out the rocket as that player tries to get into close range. Normally, if you're going up against a player with rockets in hand, you want to get as close as possible. You want to get that melee and force him to kill you and himself.
Sure.
But sadly, Formal, he was ready for it.
And he's ready for a couple things now. He's got a grapple, OS spawn it up. He's gonna get aggressive over to lockers, doesn't quite connect it. And then immediately checks over to Alley, knowing APG has died, so picking up off of communication. TriPPPeY up above on rockets, just slays him. You see the timing, the pacing that they got together? No, not like this. My Saturday just started. Formal's already coming in with the energy.
Wait, what do you mean? He was trying to perform CPR on the enemy team. He was trying to get them back to life. Exactly.
Okay, you're right. My bad.
That's respect for your opponent right there. I love that. I love that for him.
Formal certified CPR, was a lifeguard before a Halo player. Apparently, letting us know He is a respectable competitor in this tournament. I mean, honestly, if you're at this level of play and you get, you know, bagged by Formal off of an ego chout, like that's kind of like I put that on my resume, you know. That's kind of like a highlight. I'll take it.
Nice double kill coming out of Lucid as Complexity going 3 down once again. And at this point, I think it might just be mathematically impossible. I mean, it's already hard enough to do against Optic Gaming, but to try to cap 4 flags in a minute, I think mathematically it's not possible.
Tony, how do you even, why even bother with the mass at this point? There's a minute left, not even a minute.
I'm a believer.
They haven't even been, like, they've just been slaying this whole time. Finally, APG's gonna pull the flag. Can we get going here? 25 out of Formal, 15. We got 20 for Lucid. APG says, I've had enough, boys. Stop slaying. Flag out center. Complexity's still doing something, but at this point, all for naught. You know, my only hope is that they bounce back in the remainder of the pools here, but what's so clear is the dominance out of Optic Gaming. It's undeniable. How far will they go?
Optic Gaming welcoming Complexity to the pool play.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah. They come, like you said, they come out of the gauntlet into the gauntlet. It didn't get any easier. And they weren't expecting it to, of course. That's the beauty of high-level competition in Halo and the beauty of Infinite early on, right? When you got all the biggest competitors, all the largest prize pools, and the most reason to come in to play, to bring your A game, essentially. So, I mean, it's a good time to be a Halo fan, honestly, through thick and thin, Tony. I can't wait to see what we got coming.
Yeah, I got the chance to talk to McRin before the series actually started. He said, look, we're going to go in with no pressure whatsoever. McRin, their coach, by the way.
Right.
We're going to go in with no pressure at all, you know, and they're going to make sure that they warm up, try to play their best possible. And they said maybe pull off an upset, maybe pull off, you know, a game or two or possibly the win. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I still think Complexity are an amazing team. They made it out of one of the toughest open brackets that we have seen all year long, and they're gonna have a good pool play here in the rest.
Potentially, it doesn't get much easier with some of the other players or teams in the pool, right? You got FaZe in the pool as well, but maybe they'll have a shot. We'll have to find out a little later.